go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
For all things baseball, don't miss the Winter Meetings podcast Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast. And again, Tuesday mornings on West Coast Radio at 11 a.m. Eastern. Don't miss Fight Night. Every Tuesday night, Will Morgan and Josie Haney break down the hottest topics of the week across combat sports, including UFC, boxing, WWE, AEW, and more. Past episodes are available on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and each episode will air again Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss Fight Night. Tune in or tap out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity.
Hello. Welcome once again to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan. I got a cast of thousands here with me tonight. But first and foremost, let me bring on my best friend. Josie, get your buddy in here. What's up?
What up, buddy?
What's going on?
Dude, I'm sad for my daddy. He was so sad. He was so sad last night. Jason Kelsey, that beautiful face, just crying with tears.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry that happened, but it's all good. All right. Let me go ahead and do this. I got my brother and Kansas City Ribs on here with me.
Do we have to bring him in? Do we have to?
We gotta bring him in. This man, right after the show ended, this man was on Facebook Live, not even 20 seconds later.
He was waiting.
He was waiting to go on there. What's up, Seven? What's going on?
Kicking, baby. Man, it's a great day to be a Super Bowl champion.
I just hate. And again,
at least that's what Patrick Mahomes made it look like.
And again, we'll get into it. Again, congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll get into it. I didn't say the way the game ended. But first, Me and this next person are going to be talking a lot of basketball coming up. Let me bring on my man Dan the Dick. What's up, man?
Will's ready to move on.
What's up, guys?
Listen. The game done. The season done. It's about time for that NBA.
Oh no. Well, I mean, not for at least a week or 2 weeks. It's only going to be 7 talking about how good the Chiefs are, and me talking about my adoptive son, Patty Mahomes, the whole time. Like any dedicated time we have to this topic.
And Will,
that's a great preview of Sports Report After Dark Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. 7 got it. Yes.
Thursday.
And Will, we got XFL starting next week. So
Facts. Hell, you eating?
apple pie.
Oh, hungry ass. Anyway,
Always eating, bro.
hungry ass. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into hell and talk about this Super Bowl. Let's go.
Come on, Dan.
I don't know what these labels are, guys. This is an absolute disaster over here. Also, with Will, I almost did I was like, Will, does he know what's going on? He's so pro. Like he literally was like looking over his head. Like he was just like doing something else.
Every time I do that every week, I was like, I hope he knows that,
guys.
He's got it. When it starts to come down, he knows. He just knows.
Yeah, people who don't know, I'm producing the show, and I did an awesome job on the intro. You're welcome. And then, I don't know what any of the stuff.
I mean, they're all labeled
over here. He's like,
go
to
right there.
Super Bowl.
All right, Ando, what's up? How you doing, my brother? Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Let's go ahead and roll right on over to 7. Let's go ahead and do this, guys. We just there you go. Thank you. All right,
Okay.
let's go.
So here's the thing. I am going to go ahead and start from the jump because I know everybody has been trying to besmirch the victory of my adopted brother, Patrick Mahomes.
Are you saying Dan? Are you saying Dan is your daddy?
Yeah, I've been calling him
Trying some
daddy.
stuff here, guys.
I've been calling him daddy for years. No,
My bad.
What the hell you doing, bro?
I'm trying to get him like singled out. Sorry.
All right, damn. There you go. Hit that button right there. There you go.
There we go.
Well, you mean like throw it on the side?
And you know, all everybody really wants to really debate is that holding call at the end of the game. So let's go ahead and start there. Everybody wants to take away the value of my adopted brother's win because of a holding call at the end of the game. First of all, the holding call was valid. The defensive back himself said it was a valid holding call. People want to talk about ticky-tack. Okay, you want to know what? Let's call that a ticky-tack penalty. But guess what? I will say that as soon as you give me that the offsides penalty on Dee Ford in the 2018 AFC Championship was also ticky-tack.
Oh, I 100% agree with you.
All of a sudden, dead silent?
My only
Dee
issue.
Ford was offsides. It was a valid penalty.
My only issue.
Juju got held. It was a valid penalty.
My only issue. It was a great game up until that point, and my issue is this: when that call got made on both sides, you just heard the crowd just deflate. I mean, it's like, what? Really? Over a pass that was uncatchable? You gonna call that little ticky tack? Really? It's like the refs are trying to be part of the game. I'm sorry, didn't nobody go see no NFL football game or pay that money to go see a damn ass ref.
You're right.
Fuck.ref.com. There you go.
I agree, and I also feel like the refs were trying to be part of the game when they called back that second fumble recovery for a touchdown. That Nick
totally. Either way.
Catch.
Yeah.
That was a fucking catch.
Either way.
This is my thing on that. Sherman put it great today on his podcast. It was a ticky-tack call that I feel like New York should have gotten involved in and said, no, let that go. Let them finish this game. Because Ando's right. That was one of the best Super Bowls we've seen in a decade almost. It was an amazing Super Bowl. And the other thing that bothered me is I said this on the watch party last night. we were only 3 points away from the highest scoring Super Bowl in history.
Yep.
And I just felt like we watched an amazing movie. You watched Top Gun Maverick, and then Maverick died at the end. It just ended and deflated the game because then KC went and just ran the clock down. And it just, what was an amazing game. And you have to give Jalen his credit. One of the best performances of a quarterback in the Super Bowl in history. He tied the record for most rushing touchdowns. It was just, I would have just rather, because honestly, I think it still probably ends somewhat the same way. But I would have just rather have seen it end as great as it was.
Not like that. To me, not like that. Not like that. You make that call on an uncatchable ball. You don't want your marquee game to end like that.
But here's the thing. How do you know that ball is uncatchable if he doesn't get grabbed? Yes, it was a small grab, but it was grabbed. He was already beat. He didn't even need to grab him.
Yeah, I don't know if it's uncatchable.
He was already beat when he was going into the break. He didn't need to grab him.
All I'm saying is this: I wouldn't, if that was me, if I was in the league office, I wouldn't want my game, my marquee game of the whole season between those two teams, the best teams in the NFL, to end like that. Let them boys play, man.
The writer should have written it better then.
The script should have been written. The script should have been written better. I'm starting to agree. We talked about this the other day, and Josie, I gotta give you props. You brought it up. This thing's scripted. It's scripted.
But here's the thing. I can agree that the ending was anticlimactic. Yes. Like I think that's a pretty fair statement to say, because for that penalty to come up in that moment, was it a small grab? Absolutely. Yes. I can see why people are calling it a ticky-tack call. But for somebody to say you have to swallow your whistle at the end of the game like that is bullshit.
I agree with that.
I'm sorry, it's bullshit. Because then we can justify the no PI call for the Saints 3 years ago.
Why are you red?
Because Josie angry, and you don't like Josie when she's angry.
Yes. It changes with emotion.
Josie smash.
Here's the truth of
the producer.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the modern day New England Patriots, because all they do is win, and all people do is bitch if it's not completely perfect. And even when it's completely perfect, they're still going to find something. I'm just thankful that for once, Carl Sheffer's not swallowing his whistle didn't fuck my team. Like, can I appreciate that shit for a second?
Yeah.
Hey,
you're right.
Am I allowed to accept that fucking W, please?
You're right.
Tony and Will, question. Does Kirk Cousins get that holding call in that game? Does he get a defensive holding?
Nope.
Does Kirk Cousins get that call?
Nope.
I don't think
Do any of the other quarterbacks in the NFL get that call?
I think
okay. There's a reason for that.
I think maybe Burrow.
I think maybe Burrow.
There's a reason for that.
Maybe
Burrow, Allen,
maybe
Jalen. I think if it's the other way around with Hurts at quarterback, I think it happens too.
Nobody else.
It's the top tier. But here's the thing. One of the things that people have to remember is earlier in the game, there was a missed blatant PI.
Yeah.
It was
with these same two players.
It was.
And after that play, Juju lit that ref up for missing that call. And so guess what? If you get called out by a player for missing a call, and then you look up on the board and you see, oh shit, I did miss that, you're going to be watching that for the rest of the game. Yeah. It's going to be there. And also, like I said, I get that it was a small call and it made the ending of the game anticlimactic. I would have much rather watched Kansas City's defense stuff Jalen Hurts one more fucking time, or beat him in overtime, whatever the case may be, than for it to end like that. But
the reason I kind of asked you that question, though, go ahead. Sorry.
But the belief that one call was it, no, there were multiple opportunities on both sides for missed shit during that game. Just like every other time people try to blame the fucking refs. And like I said, I do believe that the top tier quarterbacks get that call, but outside of that, probably not. Kirk Cousins isn't getting that call. No.
Nope.
Not why I'm asking the question. I'm actually saying it as a good thing. I'm saying it as a good thing. Not why I asked the question. there's a reason that guys get those calls from referees. I don't think it's scripted and all that bullshit. That'd be fucking impossible to script that shit. I think that there's guys who get calls like that because they know that if that little hold didn't happen, that dude's going to put it on a fucking dime and they're going to score, is what I'm saying. Like that, they're respecting Patrick Mahomes by giving him that call because they're going, actually, that might have, been the little bit of difference is what I'm trying to. I'm actually trying to like compliment. And I think that it might happen for a couple other guys. Burrow probably because he's fucking Joe Namath rebirthed. Right.
Right.
And other than that, you don't have a whole lot of guys but they've also backed it. Not any of them as much as Patrick Mahomes has backed it recently, obviously, but they've backed it up with like those guys are going, yeah, like we're going to give him that call because we actually think that might be why he, why he overthrew it, why it was uncatchable. Because Patrick Mahomes don't throw uncatchable balls, bro. He does not throw uncatchable balls.
I think Seven's right. I think Jalen, if it were flipped, would have gotten that same call.
Yeah, Jalen would have got it too. He would have got it. He would have got it too.
That's it. And what we saw yesterday was the two best teams, the best team from each conference played yesterday, and we got evidence that the NFC is a much easier team to be the number one in, much easier conference to be the number one in than it is the AFC. Because the AFC is a fucking quarterback gauntlet. The NFC is not.
And I honestly believe both of these teams will be back at least in the playoffs next season.
Absolutely.
It does, as I said, it does make me sad because I know Jason Kelce is thinking about retirement, and I wanted to see him walk away with a ring. Greatest center to ever do it. He deserved that, but
he's already got one.
I know, but
yep. He got one.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
His brother's always going to have
he's
one more.
He's easy first ballot.
Oh, for sure. Like, for sure.
I don't know about that.
You don't think he's first ballot?
No.
As a center. As a center, no, because
not even being the greatest center.
Because it's a center, and that's the thing is I'm not saying it's right, but unless you're a high skill position player.
Oh yeah.
On the defensive side,
I see what you're saying because you're looking at what the Hall of Fame is more of a show, and it's looking for like your high profile receivers, your quarterbacks, your running backs. I got you.
And only a few amount of people actually know how good those dudes are. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, Jason Kelce's good center. I'm like, we don't really know if he's, like a lot of these guys, they don't watch interior play. It's all obviously there's receiving yards and there's passing yards. And all, right. I mean, hey, that's actually interesting. And hilarious to see on actual screen.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Jazz go with Sunshine, boy.
Jags, awesome. I don't think Jags are in the Super Bowl next year, but Jags are going to be competitive for sure next year. And the Lions definitely have a shot at
They came on to it. They came on to the end. They came on during the end of the pass season.
You look at that Green Bay Lions game, the last game of the season. Those Lions were a Lions team we hadn't seen in years.
That's Dan Campbell has made a difference in Detroit.
Yes.
And I think that Detroit's not going to be one of those teams that's just as a bubble. They have one really good year and then they just fucking deflate. Dan Campbell is building something.
Yep.
In Detroit, like
the macho
Andy
man
Reid,
of NFL head coaches.
The macho man
yes.
of NFL head coaches.
Like Andy Reid built.
Brother, I like that, Dan. I like
that. It takes a few years for things to come to fruition.
Brother,
but once it gets going, you're sold.
You got a few teams. You got a few teams doing that. I think Dan Campbell in Detroit's doing that. Dougie P in Jacksonville is definitely doing that. Dayball in New York is definitely doing that. These are teams that are definitely going to be in the conversation in the next year or two. I think Jacksonville's got a chance at possibly making the AFC Championship next year. Possibly. I've
heard Doug Peterson is soft. Like he's just soft. It's all about offense and like
most men that age can't
having days off and like just soft. He's flaccid. He's very flaccid as a coach.
Dougie P should be the coach of the year. God damn it.
Honestly, here's the thing.
I like Dable better. Well, you might have a point. You might have a point.
Here's the thing. The reason that I'm okay with it being Dable is because he made Daniel Jones look like white Michael Vick for a little while.
And don't forget.
And I'm sorry, that's talent.
And don't forget.
You look at how bad Josh Allen has been this season. Not bad, but he's definitely had more issues this season without Dable than he did
He
any
regressed.
season prior.
But
He regressed quite a bit.
go back and look at the Jags roster. That roster looks a whole lot better than anything the Giants got. I mean, those Giants receivers are pitiful, doggone it. And you got to give Daboll his props. He got those boys into the playoffs.
You
Well,
could
and I
say they're a
think that-
giant disappointment, Will.
What?
What?
I will say that I think that the lack
There
of
you go.
receiving in New York is what made Brian Daboll finally look at Daniel Jones and go, bro, just run.
You ain't got
Yeah.
nobody.
Just
you ain't
go.
got nobody.
Just fucking go.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep.
I
That's-
mean, he's
It's
good
like
at
a
that.
white Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Like you
yep.
got one choice, and if that's not good, get the fuck out of
Get
there,
the
bro.
hell out. Run.
Quit
I don't
getting your
care
ass
if you
kicked.
trip up. I don't care if you trip up. I don't care if you get if you get the sister kid from Booker T. Just run.
You know, because guess what? Yeah, you could
Just run.
break an 80-yard run and trip and fall 5 yards short of the end zone. But guess what? You know what?
Harlem
You
Heat.
still got a motherfucking 80-yard run.
One of the
It's
best teams
fine.
of all
We'll
time.
punch it
buddy.
in the next plane. Like Brian Daboll did wonders in New
He did
York this year,
wonders.
and I think if they get some receiving next year and they make the just small upgrades where they can, that is a playoff team again. Absolutely.
Hell, Daboll
70.
had two people. I mean, hell, Daboll had two people. He had Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. That's it. That's
You know
it.
who the actual coach of the year is, though, right, Seven?
Andy
Andy
Reid.
Reid. Yeah, his name is Andy Reid, and he's the Chiefs head coach. If you guys didn't know who the actual coach of the year was, it's Andy Reid. He's that guy. They're gonna elect somebody else because of
It's
regular season stuff. It's just basically partial. Everybody knows who it is.
but when you lose the quite possibly the best receiver in the game,
And still win it.
And you run a merry-go-round play.
and not just
Oh
win
my
the
god,
Super
I
Bowl,
love that they
but you
ran the
get-
merry-go-round again. I love
How does it? How do you? If you're Tyreek Hill, how are you feeling?
Pissed, livid, pissed.
happy
What would
because
you-
I'm sitting on Miami with fucking $60 million in my bank account. Tyreek Hill don't give a fuck.
He don't care about the ring.
He
second.
He was choosing money when he went to Miami. Come
Yeah,
on.
dude, you don't care.
Come on.
Tyreek Hill watched the Super Bowl in a very luxurious place. Let's just say that.
Yep,
Let's just details forget about it. It's very luxurious. It's
He was watching the sunset from his couch
yes.
Oh,
on
my
a
goodness.
120-inch
He did
TV.
say
I
that,
can't
though.
imagine.
That's a good one, Ando. He did say that.
Like, come on. But no,
Yeah.
here's
Hill did not say that. Did he really?
oh yeah, before the season started, Hill said,
Before the season started, he said that. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess we didn't cover that because I have never seen that one.
No, we did. We talked about it.
Um, oh, really?
but yeah,
that's
I think that was a
egregious.
PBR night. That may have been
Well,
a PBR night.
Well, it's always a PBR night, but it's just how big is the PBR?
That's the thing. But,
Oh,
No,
but
but
great
that's
games,
right.
I
but,
mean,
but great games by
truly-
both. Great games by both. A great game by both teams.
yes.
I think the Eagles will be there next year, unless somebody else steps up to the plate. I can't see it. You can't trust Dallas for nothing. You can't
No.
trust them. Can't trust them for nothing.
Dude,
God
if Jalen Hurts
knows.
puts dimes,
I would
Go-
say San Fran's got a chance, but their QB situation is so up in the air right now. You just don't know.
Just don't know.
They will be a playoff team. I think San Francisco will be a playoff team, but I think a lot of it's going to depend on how Daniel Jones Brock Purdy grows
Yeah.
as a quarterback next year, because he's going to get through that surgery. He's just getting the brace done. It's the same one that Trevor Story got done. It's a 6-month recovery time.
Yep.
He'll be back
know
in
the
time
injury.
for camp.
Yep.
And I'm thankful he doesn't have to get Tommy John, because if he had to get Tommy John, he's
He'd
missing
be out
all
the
next
season.
season.
He'd be out the season.
And
yeah.
I worry that would destroy his career.
but his arm would be bionic, Seven.
He'd
be bionic.
Yeah, he'd be
Like,
bombing at the
I
whole
would definitely
field.
give up a career
arm.
for that.
But
Like,
at
but
the-
But I just
At-
think, man, you look at the Eagles.
The
you
Lions.
You look at the 49ers. Lions are up and coming. You don't know what the Packers going to be.
No.
Packers. I
God,
don't see Rodgers putting on that green jersey again next season. Honestly,
I mean, God knows what the NFC South is going to look like. God only knows what that's going to look like. Seattle?
What?
I think
But Seattle, I think, because Geno Smith, I think, gets better. Another year with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll.
Geno found his coach. Geno found his head coach.
Oh yeah,
that's the big thing.
Geno also found his ceiling, guys.
Oh hell yeah!
Found his ceiling. He hit his head on the ceiling.
I agree with that.
He hit his head on a ceiling.
Yeah, I don't think he does any. I think maybe next year they make it past the wild card round, but I don't think Geno does more than that. He's not an NFC champion. He's not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback.
But then again, though, look at how many quarterbacks that won the Super Bowl winning quarterback ended up winning it. Look at Trent Dilfer.
That's one.
Yeah, you got that one. You always got that. You always got that. You always got that one. You always got that one outlier. Always got that one outlier.
I'm saying Eli Manning shouldn't have won the ones he did.
Yes, he did.
He should have won them too.
But here's another thing that we're not really taking into account, because if Derek Carr goes to New Orleans, that's a playoff team.
That's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen because I know
New Orleans wants him.
I know they want him.
They've had a conversation with him, but I don't think that's where he's going.
Here's the thing about the Saints, and this is why they lost so many people in free agency. The Saints have a number, and if you go beyond that number, look at what happened with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He went beyond that number they were willing to pay him. And when he went beyond that number, they shipped his ass out. And what you end up getting for him? A 5th round pick. Really?
Derek Carr,
really?
Listen to me now. Go to Houston.
He wants $40 million. And he wants all the money he can get. And I don't blame him, because the Raiders never gave him a good defense. Never had a top 10 defense when he was there. Just got one of the best receivers in the game. And Josh Jacobs shot through this season. But you never gave that man the talent he needed to succeed. So I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. Get your money, dog. Get your money.
Also, not to Houston, because we talked about that like 2 weeks ago. Like, he can't go to Houston because that's that young culture now. Like, they're not just gonna bring in Derek Carr and be like, hey, here's a guy that's gonna save all of us. Like, they're gonna.
It's not about saving. We talked about this last week. I want him to go to Houston so CJ Stroud can learn behind him. Because Stroud isn't going to come out of Ohio ready to start, and I just would like him to have a veteran to follow.
You're just chalking it up. They're taking CJ Stroud, huh?
Now we're all assuming that CJ.
I'm pretty sure that's who they're taking.
You all assuming CJ Stroud don't pull an Eli Manning. I don't want to go there. So we're all assuming that
it wasn't Stroud has said if they pick him, he'll go there. It was Young that said he wouldn't go there.
We haven't even seen a combine yet, by the way.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure it's Stroud.
But I said no, and I like what Josie's saying, and a team drafting a young quarterback would be smart to grab Derek Carr as well, because it gives you a veteran to sit behind, and you know that Derek Carr is going to play lights out for the next 2 years.
And he's a good person, I think.
And yeah, he's a good guy. I think he's good for the locker room.
Well,
you know who he is though. You know who he is though.
Also, family history there with his.
You know,
older brother.
You know who he is though. Go back and look at it. You guys remember Andy Dalton when he was in Cincinnati? That's who Carr is.
I agree.
Same age, same position. That's who he is. Andy Dalton.
He's Dalton.
He was good.
Stafford. He's those guys that are good that the teams just wouldn't give them what they needed.
Stafford's a little different though, because Stafford was an elite talent, dude. Like Stafford was an elite NFL talent. And he just had such a shitty team that you could tell you're like that dude is a fucking stud, and he just gets fucking killed all game long. He just gets fucked up, and he doesn't want to play anymore eventually because he gets fucked up the whole time, and he just wonders why for 10 fucking years.
They did the same thing. They did the same thing with Barry Sanders. Poor Barry.
Switch positions.
That was Detroit's MO for a while. You get a really good player. One really good generational player, Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, Matt fucking Stafford. And then dog shit all the rest around, all the West.
Bury them into the ground.
Give them no one.
And just destroy your career. And then get offended when Calvin Johnson doesn't say a goddamn thing about your organization in this Hall of Fame speech. Of course not. Fuck you.
Right. And Will, how about Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey? are going to be the next fucking two. Just pick one of those because that's the next one.
Yeah.
They're going to fucking waste that fucking talent. Just right on the vine. Just let it waste away.
Let's let it waste away.
That's why they're like, oh yeah, no, we'll keep. Yeah, Detroit's awesome. Yeah, it's good. We'll pay you a bunch of money. And then it's like, oh, we're not going to pay anybody else though.
Right,
we're making
right,
effort.
right. We'll pay you.
We're making
And that's
effort.
it. You ain't
Shit,
gonna
we
get
didn't tell you that
support
part.
around you. No support.
So-
around
Yeah, we
you.
didn't tell you that.
Real quick, guys, before we move on, I wanted to talk about the Hall of Fame class was announced for this year. So you got Joe Thomas, offensive tackle, Darrell Revis, defensive back,
Darrell Revis.
Marcus
First
Ware, defensive end,
Yeah.
Rondé Barber,
Yeah, I'm fencing that one real big time.
I'm
Zach,
50-50
Cover
on
two
that.
system corner.
I'm
Cover
50,
two
I'm
system corner.
I'm 50-50 on that. Mm-mm.
And is this like his last year of eligibility or something?
It's gotta be.
Like,
Yeah, it's first. I think.
I don't agree with that.
I think
I
it's
ain't
his
trying to
first
down him,
year.
but I don't
It's
agree
first,
with
yeah.
that.
if that's his first year of I don't know about that.
The other
He
guys are the
wasn't a
same. The other
man
guys are the same.
corner.
Yeah.
No,
the other guys are the same
no,
class.
he retired. No. He retired in 2012. The other two retired in 2017.
So that
So, no,
is
this
his
is-
last. This
this
is
will
his
be
This
his
is
last
his
last
year.
last
year.
year.
Yeah, last
Okay.
year.
Okay.
That's why
All right.
They
that's
felt
where we
for
were
him.
like,
So
They felt
Barber
for him.
getting
Okay.
in this year. Barber getting in this
They
year.
felt for him.
No.
Okay.
God damn it, no.
Zach
You
Thomas.
don't just get to get in.
Agree with that.
Zach Thomas, who is in his second to last year of eligibility.
Agree with that.
No.
I'm okay with that.
I'm all right
Uh,
with that.
Ugh.
John
It's
Coryell,
fringe, but I agree with you.
head coach
Juicy.
John Coryell from 73 to 86.
Mm-hmm.
Juicing head coach.
Chuck Howley, linebacker.
That's back in the day, right there.
Yeah, 1958 to
insane.
73.
None of us know, so don't say anything.
Ken Riley, defensive back.
Another one
None of
back in
us
the
know.
day.
Joe Klecko.
Remember him.
I thought he was a bowler.
And yeah, that's it.
Hold on. So let me ask this. No Devin Hester.
He can't even get on the ballot.
That's some
He's
bullshit.
not on the ballot.
That's some
Ooh.
bullshit.
No, I think
Oh
that's
my
the class.
God.
That's the Hall of Fame class. Those are the guys that got in.
That's
Oh yeah,
some
that's the
bullshit.
guys in. Yes,
Devin's
correct.
not in.
Okay. Okay.
Oh
well,
my
yeah.
Devin
maybe
was
it's-
on the ballot this year, but he did not.
That's
make it.
fine. First
This was
ballot.
just his
Totally.
first year. This is his first year of eligibility. I didn't
Yeah.
think he'd get
As a
first year.
returner,
And
will
as a
too.
returner,
needs
he
to
wasn't
be-
going to get in first ballot.
He needs
No,
to be in. That
right.
man changed the game. That man changed the game.
I 100% agree with you, Will, but he
He
wasn't-
deserves
as
to
a-
be in.
as a returner.
not
He
first
wasn't
ballot.
getting in.
Is there a niche Hall of Fame? Like you have a niche?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Hall of Fame, he'll be
We
in
were-
there.
Then definitely,
Yeah.
You
definitely
know,
let him
On
in.
the watch
Yeah.
party
Matthew
last
Slater is
night,
going to get the special teams player.
on the
Yeah.
watch party last night, Brandon, one of our guests, brought up a good thought. Do y'all feel like the Hall of Fame should have a separate room in the Hall of Fame for like
Nope. And that's what
elite
Dion brought
level
up.
talent?
And that's what Dion brought up. Dion
Yeah,
Sanders
that's
Super
brought
where
Hall
he
of
got it
Mhm.
from.
Yeah,
Like a
Deion
super-
Sanders brought
like-
that up. Mhm.
Like your
already
Tom
have that.
Brady's and your Peyton Manning.
It's first ballot. It's called first ballot Hall of Famers.
You
They already have
got
that.
it. You already got it.
Yeah, that's a
You
thing.
already got it.
I say that all the time. Like if you get on the first, you will tiptoe first ballot into the Hall of Fame. Means you are a fucking elite. Randy Moss
Elite.
will tiptoe. Yes, right. I mean, into the Hall of Fame. Like so, first ballot. So,
His first year is next year.
Yeah.
first
And-
ballot.
And,
No,
and
he-
you,
Unanimous.
but you do have players. Torrey Holt got snubbed this year. Devin Hester got snubbed this year. But like Dan was saying, that's going to be in the hall of the, what did you refer to?
Very
it
good.
as? Yeah, hall of the very good.
No, that's
You
calling.
see-
That's calling the whatever his name is. Cowturd.
Colin
I like
Cowherd, Cowherd, yeah.
Cohen Cowherd. I like
Cowherd.
Cowgirl. I like I like
Cowgirl.
I like
Yeah.
Ah,
Cowgirl.
sometimes
He's
he's
a
a
coward.
cowgirl when he talk about
He's a
LeBron. But go
coward.
ahead.
He looks like a retired youth pastor doing a sports podcast, is what he does.
Damn.
He does. He
Um,
does.
The only
His
man I've
voice does not
known,
match his face.
the only man I've known
doesn't.
the only man I've known that got away with saying titties on national TV. The only man I've known that's got away with saying titties on national TV. He had Joy Taylor on his show. Your team should be on the show, and he looked across the way. He was talking, doing the story, and out of his mouth, out of nowhere, that man said titties.
Yep.
Well, if you had to look across the room at Joy Taylor, you would usually say the word titties.
At some point, dude. At some point,
all
it's
the
gonna get
respect
to
for Joy Taylor's talent. She is
At some
amazing
point,
at what
you'll
she
get caught
does. But look, she has some titties, bro.
Yes, she
like,
do.
it
Yes,
just,
she
it is
do.
what it is.
At some point,
It is
you're
what
gonna
it
get
is.
caught up. You're gonna get caught up.
He's fucking beautiful. He's
Yes,
a
he is.
man, and that's like it's like okay, like that's mild for what would probably happen. You know what I'm saying? Like he's all right. He just literally. I love how he just. But in the middle of the story though is the best part. He's just like titties, and then
Titties.
Michael Vick. And I was like, what the fuck, Michael Vick, and like it just like caught him so off guard, dude. He's like, oh my, okay, those.
I think he was
here all the time.
I think he was shocked that he said it himself. Oh, I'm sorry.
Immediately, like,
Nobody-
sorry.
Because you just imagine everybody around the Foxes just kind of looking at each other,
What?
and everybody's all just like, nobody say anything. Just nobody say anything. We're not going to
Just
acknowledge
keep the
it.
camera going. Just keep the
Nobody-
camera going. That's all I want you to do.
Just as much as a
Murdoch is
reflex as
just
when the doctor
sliding
hits
that
you in the
check.
knee with that rubber thing.
Yep.
Just
Rupert
that was
Murdoch
what it
just
was.
slides Joy Taylor a check across the desk in the middle of the episode, just like, here, just shut the fuck up. We're gonna pretend this never happened. And she's just like, all right.
Yeah, she was like, it's cool. I'm used to it.
And shout out to Joy Taylor. And shout out to Joy Taylor because Joy Taylor could have took that the opposite 160, and she didn't. So
Yeah.
shout out to Joy Taylor.
I've seen her do it a
It's-
couple occasions. First take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's Molly
or a
Karen.
couple-
That
That's
was
Molly
Molly
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
Molly Karam.
Sorry, I'm confused.
Molly Karam. Molly Karam
Has
will fuck
taken
around.
some straight. She's also taken some straight like perverted shit. Like I've seen the videos on YouTube, like, and like I'm like, what in the fuck, dude? Ryan Clark said something to her that I was like, I can't remember what he said. I was like, whoa, and she just like
Do you
rolls
remember
with
that
it. I'm
time? Do you remember
like, she's just
that
used
time?
to it.
I think before she got to ESPN, she was at, I think it was CBS, and her and Terrell Davis was doing a football play, and Terrell Davis thought he was slick. He had her being the center, and she was wearing a skirt, and here comes Terrell Davis right behind her, and it's like she didn't notice it till later. Get from behind me.
Yeah. Which makes Terrell Davis kind of a genius. An evil genius, but
A G.
kind of a
A
genius.
total
Kind of a
G.
genius.
A total G.
Straight up G. Straight up G. I mean, say what you want about Molly, and I know she got, from what I heard, she had some issues, but she's still a beautiful girl.
And she, I still think she's good at her job. I
You
have no
just
issue
say
with her.
that.
I think she's great.
Will's got some inside information, and you just can't just say that.
Well,
She's like, I heard she got some issues.
I heard she
Yeah,
got
whatever,
issues.
dude.
I heard she got issues. I'll tell you later. I heard she got issues.
Well, divulge. Yeah, okay. After.
Yeah,
It's that good, huh?
After,
Okay.
because I have
See,
to use
the after
because if
part
I
is the
tell
real
you
thing to
right
be
now,
accurate.
because if I tell you right now, I have to use the word allegedly.
Just say allegedly before everything you say.
24/7 allegedly. And it's like
Just
I
pull
don't
a
do
Pat
that.
McAfee in every other word. Molly allegedly, Kira
Allegedly.
said allegedly.
I love Pat McAfee, by the way. Love Pat.
Oh God.
Oh well, you bring
Oh,
up Pat,
Josie,
we
you
gotta
gotta break
talk
it
about.
down because you watch his podcast, don't you?
I watched clips of this one. I didn't watch the full episode, but
Before we
gotta
before
talk
we
It
about
move-
was so
yeah,
good.
before we move on to the NBA, I do, and then we gotta discuss. But before we move on to the NBA, I do want to move into what Brett Favre is now doing. Brett Favre is now suing Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee for
so allegedly.
allegedly.
We gotta make sure we get
Allegedly.
I'm having Letterkenny flashbacks, and we're not even watching it. We're not even
I
talking
haven't
about
read
the
the
show.
damn show. Allegedly.
If you don't know, Brett Favre is allegedly being accused of stealing money from the poorest state in the U.S. and then the poorest people in that state.
Because it's allegedly the
Text
SNAP
messages.
food stamp fund.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah,
And he allegedly.
allegedly.
And so he is now suing a writer from Mississippi, Pat
The auditor.
McAfee, an
The auditor.
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 Yes, auditor. Yes.
Auditor from Mississippi, Pat McAfee, and Shannon Sharp. First, I want to bring up Shannon because Shannon's response was great too. It was great.
Did I spell
but-
that right?
I think
But-
you did.
Oh my God. If you have not watched McAfee's
Oh.
response to this, go find it.
You
Because
gotta
it was
find it,
so
man.
great. He said, a few weeks ago, I got a letter from a couple of lawyers that said I need to delete all of our library that talks about Brett Favre and the alleged fraud. And he ignored it. And then he got another one this
Yeah.
past week that said, you need to on air apologize
Hell no.
and delete it all. Well, then
Hell
Pat
no.
got playing pickleball and missed the deadline
Oh well.
because because Pat learned what a drop shot was that
Oh,
night, and
oh
he
well.
was just too busy with his pickleball
Oh well.
because Pat's going pro, you know.
Oh well.
That makes sense.
The thing that kills me with the thing that kills me, the whole thing about it, there's allegedly text messages out there
No,
and all this other stuff. And we're doing it at a lower level, but we as broadcasters have a right to talk about it. Freedom of the freaking press, freedom of freaking speech. We have a right to talk about it. Even
It's
if
what this show stands for, Will.
Exactly. Even if it's just speculation, we have the right to do it. So this is killing me all the way
sports
through. It
talk
ain't gonna
without
go
the
nowhere.
BS. That's right.
It ain't gonna go nowhere.
With a big old fucking smile on our faces.
Hell yeah.
You know, here's the thing. I think I figured out what happened here. So we all remember back when Brett Favre was still a professional football player, when he allegedly sent his penis to a college student.
Huge hands.
Jen
He has huge
Sturger.
hands.
Jen Sturger, I follow
Great
her on
jawline.
Jen Sturger, I follow her
And-
on Facebook.
Um,
She is a baddie too.
you know, there was a lot of conversation
Brett
about
Favre.
that. But now that Brett Favre is back in the media,
Brett
he can't
Favre.
can't send a dick pic to Pat McAfee or Shannon Sharp because they'll just laugh at him. So now I think a lawsuit
Especially
for
Shannon.
defamation of character is the
Especially
rich
Shannon.
version of sending a dick pic to tell somebody to go fuck themselves.
Pretty much.
But
But, I mean, he's gonna lose.
He's
Hey,
definitely gonna
Seven.
lose.
Brett Favre's dick is apparently enormous. I actually seen the text message, but you guys haven't seen the actual text message? You haven't seen the dick pic. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, you guys don't really know then, do you?
I do got to say, though, the funniest part of McAfee's response was, what lawyer? I'm not getting no damn lawyer.
Hell no. You don't need one for this. It's bullshit. You don't need one for
man.
this.
There's always the PC police out there. I don't know.
Oh, hell
They might go
yeah.
on far
Hell
side for
yeah.
his.
But
Don't talk about him that way.
It's pretty much already been proven that he did it. Like,
Yep.
Dude.
there's not. He doesn't have
I've
really a
seen
leg to stand. I'm not talking about the pick. I'm talking about
Oh.
stealing the money.
Talking
That's
about
what
the
he said.
crime.
That's the pick had nothing to do with this.
It's
It kind of
Well,
does, though.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing I will say about Brett Favre. His argument is going to be that he didn't know where the money that he got
Yeah,
paid,
that's
that
what
he wasn't
his
supposed to get
argument has
paid.
been.
He didn't know that where it came from. And so his reasoning for not or for attack for trying to sue Shannon Sharp and for trying to sue
Pat,
Pat McAfee is because they, talked a whole bunch of shit about him. And
Acting like he
feels
knew.
like, acting like he knew. And here's the thing. It's going to take the truth of the matter is the biggest argument with this is he would have to prove that there was significant financial gain on the part of Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee
which is not going to
that
be
was caused specifically by their comments about him
Right.
to have any kind of a case of defamation of character.
Right.
for the sheer
And-
fact on how their shows work that they discuss multiple topics on each show. He's never
Right.
going to be able to prove that.
Nope.
And
That's why it's
you,
BS.
you can't tell me that with everything that Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee talk about, that the clips of them and the whole episodes of them talking about Brett Favre are the most
Brett
viewed content.
Favre.
Are,
Bullshit.
are you fucking serious?
Yep. Brett
I guarantee you
Favre.
that people give more of a shit about Shannon Sharp talking about LeBron James
and Pat
or
talking,
Patrick Mahomes
and Pat talking to Aaron
Brett
Rodgers.
Favre. And Pat talking to Aaron Rodgers or the Paul brothers when they go onto his show, because I'm pretty sure they've been onto his show before.
Or any wrestler that's been on his show in the last 6 months since this came out.
Like the list of people that would be more interesting to watch these guys talk to or about than Brett fucking Favre. Like, bro, you're reaching here.
What he's
Big time
hoping for,
reach.
what he's hoping for, and what I think he was hoping for is to scare them into settling, and they both showed that's not going to happen.
Nope.
So, I think this.
What about the way that Shannon Sharp carries himself makes anyone think that motherfucker's going to settle?
Swole Rogers don't settle. Swole Rogers out there.
Swole Rogers.
Swole Rogers.
Can you imagine if he took over that? Can you imagine if he came out with a Mr. Rogers TV show? That shit would be hilarious. That shit would be hilarious. Little girls, little boys, little girl. It's your boy Shannon Sharp. It's your boy Unc. It's your boy Unc up in here. How y'all doing?
I gotta say, his
a beautiful day in the
podcast
neighborhood.
is great. I love
Club
it.
Shit
It is.
good. Yeah.
It's a
Do
beautiful
you think
day
those
in the
sweaters that he
neighborhood.
wears are intimidated too?
You
You think they're like,
That's-
oh,
that's
fuck,
why
man, we're
they're-
right up in it.
Can you
Dan, that's
imagine?
why
when-
they're so tight. Because
Can you
if we don't
imagine
hug
him-
this man, he's gonna beat us.
Can you imagine?
He looks like a
can you-
horse wearing a
can
sweater.
Can you imagine that man when he goes onto that show and he changes his shoes? Can you remember Mr. Rogers used to change his shoes out? That would
His
be
size,
hilarious.
his 14s, his 14 Crocs.
14, 15s. I guarantee you he ain't put on no damn loafers. That motherfucker.
They're gonna be made out of some foreign animal, some animal that somebody had to kill.
I guarantee you, man. That would be
Oh, those are
hilarious if
beautiful.
we had that
I
show.
like it.
Oh my gosh. I'll
Man.
be watching that thing every day. Oh,
Peter-
that'd be hilarious.
Peter would be just up in arms about it. They'd be like, every day, it's a different animal.
It's an animal dying.
No, I would love to see like Braun wins an NBA title with the Lakers this year. Some string of luck. And the day after he comes out and he just walks out and it's like the Mr. Rogers theme, but he's in the sweater and the goat mask. He just walks out and changes his shoes and then turns around and looks at
Oh
Skip.
man,
And
okay.
goes,
I'm,
Yeah.
He runs an entire episode of Mr. Rogers before the show starts. Like he actually runs the whole episode, like in the horse
That would be
mask.
so cool to
Yes,
see.
and the
That would be so
Yeah.
cool to see.
trippy
Oh my
as
gosh.
fuck. I'd be taking so much LSD before I knew that was happening. I'd be like,
You ain't
oh,
lying. You gotta get high. You gotta get high before you watch the damn show.
Oh, yeah.
my gosh, man.
like Shane is doing Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, let's go. I'm ready. You be hungry. You be hungry all throughout the show. You ain't gonna stop eating. You better have your refrigerator right
Man.
next to the TV.
I mean,
Shannon's awesome, man.
He is.
Man, Shannon's awesome, man.
He is, man.
Are we moving on
Yeah,
right now?
man.
Are you guys? Is that what you guys
All
telling
right,
me?
let's go ahead
You've
and move on.
been mentioning it.
Let's go ahead.
I've been like very nervous. I'm gonna do it wrong.
You guys want to
Well.
take a break? You want to move on to the NBA? Up to y'all.
No, I'm good.
we'll go NBA and then take a
Let's,
break.
let's go NBA.
That's
Wow.
not the NBA.
Wow, Dan.
Hey, Will. Hey, Will. 4. That one's pretty sweet. That one's pretty sweet.
You're fired.
It's the same thing. Hey, Will.
All right,
Just
Dan.
for
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
All right,
all right.
let's go ahead and
That's
get
just
into
a-
this.
I promise
Let's go-
inside joke.
we're not all fucked up.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this thing. And I got a beef. I
Only
got
3/4
something
of us.
I got something I need to say, and then I'm gonna go straight to you and say this. Here's the thing that's killing me. Okay, the Lakers did beat the Lakers did beat the Suns, and I will give them that. The Lakers beat the Warriors. I'm sorry. Lakers did beat the Warriors to get that win. Here's the thing that's killing me though. Everybody's up here talking about like the Lakers are world beaters, like the Lakers are a threat. Where are the Lakers a threat? Where?
Oh, they're a threat to absolutely crush that first round, Will.
Where?
They're gonna crush it in the first
They
round.
might crush. They
You
might
think
crush the
they make the
play-in.
playoffs, Dan?
They might crush
You
the
think they
play-in.
make
Yeah,
the playoffs?
I think LeBron will will them to a play. Like, so like what we're not seeing here is like there's this underlying story. Will knows what I'm talking about. There's like this underlying story with the NBA with like what happens because certain dudes kind of will it to happen. And like LeBron's obviously done that with the Eastern Conference Finals and shit like that. Kevin Durant with the Warriors. There's just certain things that kind of go in a pattern. LeBron James will just will them to the playoffs. Like, Will, do you agree with that?
I
He's
agree.
he's just gonna like, yeah, he's just gonna like literally. They'll
They'll make
figure
the
out a way to
play-in.
get LeBron James into the playoffs. Let's just say that.
Well, they'll
I
make
They'll-
the
think-
they'll
playoffs.
figure out a way.
I really think, but this is my thing. I don't think they're a threat to win anything. But I do think that
LeBron can't do it all.
I do think this team has 4 seed written all over it. I will say that because I believe they now have the shooting that they need. They have some depth that they need. They can play some better defense on the other end. If AD can stay healthy, that'd be a big, huge benefit to what they do with D'Angelo Russell. So they have better point guard I'm not so, and the biggest win is subtraction. Westbrook is gone. So
Yeah.
let's see where he ends up. And there's rumors already saying he going to the Clippers.
Yeah.
Now
it makes perfect sense.
makes perfect sense for him to do it.
Did he
Perfect
get
sense.
traded?
No,
He
he
got traded
but
he got traded to the Jazz, and then they're already talking the
get-
Jazz going to buy him out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes. So that was they're addressing salary issues, and 3-team trades are always about salary things.
Yeah.
So the third team in the trade is always just trying to either get rid of money or add some kind of weird contractual thing to the deal, right? So
Right.
they can also add players, which is the advantage to it, correct?
Right.
So the poll that LA got for Russell Westbrook, I was like, really? I was like, that's actually, I was like, okay. Like, I thought they were going to get fucking nothing. I thought it was gonna be like a 2nd-round pick. And they got D'Angelo Russell,
Mhm.
who's a fucking great 3, honestly. Like, he shoots the ball well. Like, he's
39%.
perfect for like,
I would
yes, he's
say
Go ahead.
with him, and then do you think AD comes back next season, or you think he gone after the season?
I think after watching, like, I freaked out about the fucking last Thursday. I freaked out about the fucking shit with him sitting down because I hadn't seen like the interview with him. I think that it honestly was a mistake. Because the contrary to him not standing up during that is so ridiculous that it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that would literally mean that he was
said-
mad.
Now he said he was upset because they were losing the game.
I saw that. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I originally heard it and saw the video, I was like, the fuck is that motherfucker doing? Like, so disrespectful, right? And then I was like,
Disrespectful.
Hey, well,
so disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Like he was like fucking but I get his explanation, but still, dude, I don't give a fuck if you're mad about fucking losing. Like, stand the fuck up. And he might not have realized that LeBron was going to do it that quick either, because he did kind of just come down. It was like a fucking turnaround. It actually caught me off guard when I was watching it, right?
Right.
And so I think that's probably what happened. Is what he was just going on the bench. He's pissed. Like, he knows that they're going for this record, but like he wanted to win. I would like to believe that, because if it's the other side of that, that is the stupidest. Anthony Davis is a fucking child. Like, he is a child of an individual on the other side of that. And I just don't want to believe that. I don't want to be like, that guy's fucking that childish that he's mad about LeBron breaking the all-time scoring record. Who are you, Anthony Davis? That's my question. Who the fuck are you?
And you know the thing that really pissed me off about it too, Dan? That's supposed to be your boy. You know what I'm saying? That's
The
supposed
whole
to be your
reason
guy.
you're on the
Dude,
damn team.
that's supposed
The
to be
whole
your guy.
reason You're on the damn team.
Exactly. He the reason why you on the damn team. He the reason why you got that ring.
If that's what he was doing, dude, like if that's what he was doing, I will literally do a whole show by myself on a Tuesday that will literally just be bagging on Anthony Davis, and just fucking, it will literally just be a fucking shit show on Anthony Davis. Like, I'll have pictures and diagrams and everything. But like,
Another thing I want to get into it with you. Zion looks to be out for an extended period of time.
Man, I
Imagine
swear he's turning into the new AD.
AD played his first couple of seasons. He still liked basketball.
Yeah.
I think Zion's actually getting hurt. That's the thing. Like, Like AD just quit. Zion's actually I think Zion's getting hurt. And hate to say that I called this, that you can't be bouncing around at 310 pounds. Yeah. Like it doesn't happen. Right. It's not natural. We're not built to be that big and that strong and that fast. It's like his bones and his tendons are being like, dude, fuck this.
David Boston. David Boston part 2.
David Boston. Yep.
Part 2.
David Boston. One of my favorite stories in sports ever.
David
and he
Boston
just thought it was like,
2.
Cool. That was when fucking ACH was legal too in the NFL. You just take it.
Yep.
Nobody
cared.
He was like, yeah, in between practices, like in the locker room, this dude just got him shot up with like glucose drips on one side and like a fucking anyway. But like, yeah, that's basically what happened. He just got too big.
That motherfucker looked like 2 tight ends put together playing wide receiver. He was that big.
The crazy thing is that's Zion just as a human.
Yep.
Didn't do one performance enhancing drug other than donuts.
That's just him being big.
Lots of donuts and lots of Zion.
He's not Andrew Fate. He's not Andrew Fate down there in New Orleans. I know what that is.
He's more than big. He's super athletic. Bouncy athletic.
And I thought he was going to be, because when I thought he got to the league, I thought he was going to slim down. You remember Larry Johnson?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to slim down.
Lefty too.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to slim down because Larry was similar, but then he slimmed down his weight, got his weight down, and was able to do the things that he did on the court until he got hurt.
Don't send him to New Orleans then.
And I thought, and I thought that was going to be, but I thought that was going to be Zion's plan. How about get down my weight, get down to 240, and then go for broke. And
I feel like, but Will, Zion's only plan before that was just like to play basketball.
Yep,
he was 19 years old. Like he just didn't give a shit. He was like, yeah, I'm just really good at basketball. I'm like every level I'm at it pretty much. And then he got just a culture shock when he got in the NBA. He was like, oh shit, like I got it. Like it's a lot. And like he was like, oh shit, I gotta like work out and stuff. Like I never had to work out before. Like I bet that dude didn't work out regularly. He was just like he was just that freakish athletic. If you're that freakish athletic, you're just kind of that freakish athletic. You didn't actually work up to it.
He might have been Ron Simmons from back in the day. Somebody who want to go to the gym maybe once a week, maybe twice a week.
Here's the thing,
and go from there.
Yeah,
I am the last person that can judge somebody for being overweight down in New Orleans, because if the whole reason, because like I'm going to be moving soon. And the whole reason I'm not moving down there is not just because I don't want to lose my house to a hurricane every 2 years. I also would gain 200 pounds. And I will go visit, but only when I have a planned weight loss meeting after my vacation. Because
now put that plan in motion. now put that plan in motion as a 19-year-old with millions of dollars.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, it's like he's a talented kid, but if you don't have the self-control to be there, like, dude, something's gonna give.
You don't have that dog in you, is what it is. I don't know if Zion Williamson has a dog in him. I think there's things that
you know who remind me of, and Dan, I don't know if you remember this player, but he kind of reminds me of a better version of Alvin Miller.
Alvin Miller, the Rockets.
Oliver Miller. I'm sorry.
Oliver Miller. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Because you were
power forward, bigger guy.
Yeah. Gained a lot of weight and never lost it. And then he's out of the league.
Yes. He got fat in the epithet of the way. Like that, or like Charles Barkley. I mean, obviously, Charles Barkley would be probably one of the closest ones. Mm-hmm. Obviously, not as freakish athletic, but like it just, you could tell there was times when he wasn't even in shape to like run up and down the floor.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, particularly in Philly.
Yeah,
particularly in Philly.
Right, and it's like, hey, Thursdays after dark, we talk about personal issues. Like when they get into like that kind of lifestyle, dude, like it's either you take it one way or you take it the other way. And like, that's so much of it is like how they take it. Cause Zion could have been the best fucking player. He could have been a fucking top 5 all-time player. He's never going to be a top 5 all-time player. He didn't,
because he doesn't want to put the work in
with his age too, man. Like that's a 19-year-old kid. Like I was so fucking stupid when I was 19. I'm still stupid, but like I was so fucking stupid when I was 19. Dude, I was a chimp. I was a chimp walking around with clothes on. That's what I was. Like I can't imagine having millions of dollars and getting sent like, yes, now you have all this responsibility. Like, what? Like, it's just what way do you handle it? Like, and Zion didn't handle it well, obviously. But like, yeah, I'm not fucking. I'd be doing the same thing. Oh yeah, New Orleans, bro, gumbo, absolutely.
Gumbo, etouffee.
Lot of fucking margaritas.
I do a little sausage, man.
And do we? That's Cajun catfish is the only way I can eat catfish without like getting sick at the smell of it.
And you in New
Dirty
Orleans.
fish.
And my family is from there, and I visited, and it's around almost every freaking street corner, and don't be around doing Mardi Gras. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to be around though, because good food and cities, what more could you ask for?
We can.
Like,
absolutely.
When are we going? That's my question.
Let's go.
For us, it's awesome.
It's
for
awesome
dudes who have to stay in shape and play basketball, not awesome. We're not playing basketball games every day.
Right.
Probably not a great. Yeah, that would be a lot of vomit.
I do want to go over the 7 real quick, because I do want to talk about the Kevin Durant trade over to the Suns.
Yeah.
And shout out to you, because you did one of the first to put it in our group. What do you think about that? Because they gave up a lot of depth for that move.
They did, and honestly, I think the Mikal Bridges loss hurts me more than anything. Jay Crowder wanted out. Jay Crowder wasn't playing because Jay Crowder didn't want to be in Phoenix. You know what? All respect to him. He's allowed to pick where he works. So you know what? It's not on me. Mikal Bridges was a difference maker on that squad.
Yep.
But you're now looking at a Phoenix 5 that will probably very routinely be Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and Torrey Craig. I'll take that.
Torrey Craig pulls it down a little bit at the end, but yes, the top 4. The top 4 are fantastic.
I mean, Torrey Craig is there for the defense, and he does all right. He does enough. When you get to the playoffs, you got Kevin Durant turning on his defense switch.
I get what you're saying. The other 4 make up for it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. DeAndre Ayton starts to play more D
for sure
in the postseason. I mean, really, they all do. So for me, I think that as long as everybody understands Kevin Durant is not the leader of that team.
Hell no.
And here's the thing. For anybody that's confused, Kevin Durant is not the one on that team. It's still Devin Booker.
Kevin he doesn't want to be.
He does not want to be the number 1 on that team.
No.
He probably doesn't even want to be the number 2 right now. He wants to be the 3. And you know what? Guess what?
Personality wise,
we're
clarifying.
We
talked about this.
Personality wise, right now, he wants, as far as the scheme is concerned, he wants to be the 3. He wants to just be out right there, go get his feet manicured every day so his toenails not across the line no more. But he wants to be that 3 that's out there on the wing. Just
yep.
And he'll give you 25. He'll give you 25, 30 points right there.
Yep.
And because the Suns, one of the great things about the way that the Suns play basketball is it's more about the schemes. It's they try to get consistent with matchups and play strengths and weaknesses when they understand what might be coming. And so as long as KD falls into the way that they're doing that, as far as that part is concerned, whether he's the 2, the 3, whatever, he'll be fine. And like I said, you're still going to get 30 points a game out of KD, whether he's the 2 or the 3, he's still going to give you 30. He's going to be the reason that the Suns are in the Western Conference Final.
So, Seven, I have to get a second opinion from Will actually on this, because we talked about this with Devin Booker KD thing, and I thought it was egregious that you were putting Devin Booker just automatically as the actual number 1 on an NBA team, like overall personality and skill wise. Most importantly, you were putting Devin Booker above 8 KD, right?
Yes.
You were just saying that he's definitely the number, like KD's definitely the number 2. That I have a query with. I do, because I don't understand. Like,
he doesn't want to be the 1.
He doesn't want to be the one like he doesn't be the one outside of being the one on the floor. On the floor,
Right.
He doesn't want to be the one, okay? Like, he wants to be the one. Not on the floor, doesn't want to be the one. He doesn't want to deal with all the bullshit outside of that. He just wants to play ball. He's a baller. That's what KD does. He just balls. So, like, that's what he was in Golden State. They had a clear leader, clear one. Steph Curry was clearly the leader of that team, okay? Clearly. There was no, and Steve Kerr. And there was no, there was nothing else outside of that. They knew that. In Phoenix, it's a little different, dude. Like, nobody knows that Devin Booker is like, yes, they think, and yes, it's probably the truth, but nobody knows that Devin Booker is the guy. And like, I hope that doesn't create some kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was my only issue with it, is like, I don't know, man, because I think that KD, if you're taking a last shot, Will, and you have Devin Booker, KD, you get him the same shot wherever you want it at, because they can both shoot from wherever. But you get him an open last shot in the playoffs. Give me Game 6 of the finals. You're about to close it out all day long. And I said that Devin Booker was Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. You'll give him that shot, right? But if it's 0-1, 1-0,
something like that. But if it's Game 6 and I gotta have it, it's KD.
But no, but here's the thing, because when we were talking about this on After Dark, here is what I said. I think it depends on where the actual player is in position when the shot comes down.
Of course it does.
Because here's the thing. If KD is not in a position where he's automatic and Devin Booker is, why the fuck are you giving the ball to KD?
You're missing the point.
Give it to Devin Booker.
You're missing the point of the question. Missing the point of the question. You're missing the point of the question. Missing the point of the question. They get a shot fucking open. They get to take an open or a contested shot. I don't care which one it is. It's the same shot. Give me KD all day long. It's the same shot. It's Devin Booker or KD. It's Game 6 of the finals. You get to pick one guy, and they get to take the same shot. I'm taking Kevin Durant all day. That's what I'm saying. Like that makes you the one, dude.
And the reason why I say that is because you've seen KD do it before in that same situation. You've seen it.
Clutch as fuck.
You've seen it already. You've seen
Devin
it
Booker
already.
hasn't shown me any clutch.
The only person I don't want that. KD 1, Booker 2. The last person I want taking that shot is CP3. That's the last person I want taking that shot.
Well, yeah, I can agree with you on that.
That's the last person.
DeAndre Ayton has been more clutch than CP3.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they should have cut Chris Paul.
The only thing Chris Paul
I'm surprised they didn't.
The only thing Chris Paul did, well, they tried, but New Jersey vetoed the deal. I mean, Brooklyn vetoed the deal. Keep going by New Jersey, but
why didn't they just? Why didn't Phoenix just buy him out and get rid of him?
I would have, but then you wouldn't have KD.
The bad thing was, like, if we know that, Chris Paul definitely knows that.
Exactly.
Exactly. But now you have KD. Buy out Chris Paul and send him home, because honestly.
But then if you get rid of KD right now, but you get rid of Chris Paul right now, who's your point?
Hey,
Devin Booker.
Paul's on that train for the fucking
But right
ring,
now,
dude.
but the thing we need to pay attention to is the buyout market. That's the thing we need to pay attention to. And Phoenix has been linked to this buyout market like a motherfucker. They're only talking about,
was it Terrence George or
they're talking about Terrence Ross coming over.
That's it.
They're talking about
Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross is pretty good. They've been talking about Carmelo coming back to go to Phoenix. They talking everything about Reggie Jackson, who bought himself out, talking about being associated with this rumor with Phoenix. It's going to be interesting. And it's that lack of, and I just think it's a lack of depth that's keeping CP3 there. If it wasn't for that, he might be already gone. So,
as much as I respect what CP3 has done for the Suns locker room in his time in Phoenix, he's not producing this year. He's not providing any of the needed results, because the truth of the matter is that Devin Booker doesn't need him anymore.
Nope.
Nobody really needs him.
His decline is, and so, I mean, maybe you switch him to the 6 and let him spend time with the second team, so he's not on the court as much. Like, I don't know what you do, but honestly, I think they should just buy him out and give that roster slot to a piece that will actually make a difference as they make what is probably going to be their best window of a run this year and next year.
I think you see that. I think you see that happen during the off season. I really do think you see that. Chris Paul is caught in catch 30. Is caught in catch 32. The motherfucker is 6 foot, can't play D, his shot's not consistent. Now, granted, he can still run an offense. So
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so if you're a point
experience-wise.
guard laden team, you just want somebody to come in there to run your offense for you, off pick and rolls, pass the ball in a post, whatever, to run the offense for you. That's fine. But CP3 is just the type of player you can't rely on anymore.
You can't rely on him, and it's not just about the fact that you can't rely on him. It's that even even if he's just playing as the point guard, you're not getting results out of him that you should see in just a traffic director, position.
Right.
Because I'm going to pull up some stats for this year because it's
Stephen, offensively though, he's okay. Like, he's still good. Like, I would say that Chris Paul is still offensively a good player. Defensively is where you're losing. You're losing literally a whole defender, dude.
Yep.
What they call him, Will? The fucking the yard cone or the cone? The human cone is what you call him. Like, he is
he's
terrible. He was
Okay,
bad
so
in his prime, and now he's really bad.
Now he's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's not even a good off the ball defender.
No, he literally is looking for offense the whole time, and he's been like that since he was in college.
Yep.
And like that's always been a thing. Like when his offense counteracted it and made it better, it was fine, right? But now his offense isn't there because he's not an athlete anymore, and so he's even worse as a defender. Like that's what they're dealing with. He can run the fucking offense. He can play defense serviceably for the first 5 minutes of the game, and then get him the fuck out of there. He's your first sub. Get him the fuck out. Get him the fuck out. And if he needs to run something like deep in a fourth quarter when there's a bunch of shit on the line and fucking defense, all that shit's going on, then you fucking can run Chris Paul out there because that dude's been there. He's been there a lot, and he's never fucking won, but he's been there. He's not gonna freak out.
Here's my point though, because when you look at Chris Paul, he's only averaging 13.8 points a game this year. And along with that is 4.2 assists, 4.2 rebounds, 8.7 assists. Now, yes,
great number.
For a point, yeah. For a point,
really good numbers. 13-9.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really for him on the offensive side, he should be at, like if we're gonna see below 15 points for him, then he should at least also have 10 assists.
So you can't put that. You got Booker now. It's not
but he's the one distributing.
But Booker's gonna take the bulk of your offense. If he's gonna take 13 is fine for him. 13 is where I would actually want him to be.
Right.
Increase the assist, I got you. But points wise, at 13 points per game, that's where you need to be.
When did averaging 10 assists become trivial, by the way, guys?
Yeah.
10 assists a game is fucking a lot, dude.
Yeah,
Double-digit assists a game, it's a lot.
But he's
the
one
9 a game, it's a lot.
So he's the one directing it, so he should. That's what I'm saying, is he should be getting 10 assists a game. I understand. I understand that with his age, playing point less than 15 points, it's not the end of the world.
No.
But there should be more in the assist category, at least to 10. At least give me 10 a game.
That's a lot, dude. Like two guys average 10 assists a game a fucking year, dude.
Yep.
That's a lot. Like he would be one of 3 dudes. Over 9 is like fucking 7 guys. Like there's not very many. It's like a couple of guys on the team. Like he's fucking that. Those numbers surprised me. Did they not? You will? Like I actually kind of surprised me. I was like, I knew it was a kind around that area, but I was like, that's a fucking really good numbers, dude. Like I can't believe he's still doing that.
You're also offensively, he's Cornhuskers football. So,
dude, offensively, he's still really good. Like
the thing is to me, he's a serve, and I'm gonna kind of.
I'm not impressed by Cornhuskers football. By the way,
yeah, 2 S words.
This is a fucking face is unimpressed.
He's still a serviceable player, but he's also a situational player. And once you go in, once you see that, do you know you have to govern him? I do agree with you. I think he'll be bought out at the end of the season. But they're gonna let this ride for right now. And you may see with KD there, you may see that assist total go up to 10. You may see it.
The best news for Chris Paul was for Kevin Durant to come to Phoenix.
Yep.
The only thing that he wants at this point, the only thing that Chris Paul needs is a fucking championship. It doesn't matter how he gets it. it doesn't matter what role he plays. He averaged 13-9 for 3/4 of a season for this team. So that already fucking qualifies him for clearly getting that ring. That's a fucking ring for
And
Chris
if
Paul.
you
I'll just say it.
And if your buyout market rumors come to pass, you get a Reggie Jackson, you get a Carmelo. Yeah, I get Carmelo will be a one playoff rental. Because by the time he gets enamored with the offense, it's gonna be around playoff time. But if you
What are you gonna do? Put him coming off the bench? Because
he'll have to come
I
off
like
the bench.
Terrence Ross a lot.
Yeah, you have to.
I like Terrence Ross a lot more.
And if you get Terrence Ross, who I like a lot better, you may see that assist total go up to 10 assists a game, because then he'll have the depth and the talent to do it. And that's all you really need from him.
Bro, Melo's been coming off the bench for like 6 years now, by the way.
Hell yeah.
You're right. He has been. Okay.
He'll be serviceable.
It's
Terrence Ross.
not the worst thing in the world.
Terrence Ross been up there. Yeah.
It would be good for the second team offense to have Carmelo there for a playoff run, because you can get good amount out of 25 games out of him. I'm not opposed to that.
He can run that second unit. Get that second unit, boy. Hey, you get old school Carmelo. Hey, 10, 15 points off the bench for the playoffs. Hey, you can't beat.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
That was a really good hardwood segment. I just want to say that.
All right, you guys. All right, you guys. We are.
Okay, I want to run the whole thing. Sorry.
Wait, we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and when we come back from break, we're gonna get into some wrestling. We're gonna get into some wrestling with some fight night with Josie, and I might say a thing or two. So hang out with us, guys.
More predetermined outcomes. We went over the NFL first. Now we're gonna go over the fight night. Got it.
Fight night. Yeah. Let's go.
Wrap up your Monday with some laughs. Make sure to join Will, Seven, Dan the Dick Warner, and Josie as they dive into the hottest topics of the week across sports, including baseball, basketball, and the NFL. You can catch the episode live Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss the Sports Report Podcast. Don't miss Fight Night. Every Tuesday night, Will Morgan and Josie Haney break down the hottest topics of the week across combat sports, including UFC, boxing, WWE, AEW, and more. Past episodes are available on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and each episode will air again Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss Fight Night. Tune in or tap out. It's time for more dick, more snacks, and more basketball talk on the hardwood. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, you can catch them live on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast. Join them as they break down the hottest topics of the week in the NBA, along with the age-old argument on LeBron versus Jordan. This ain't one of Shaq's free throws. Don't miss it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice way.
All right. Josie's gonna hit up with some fight night. Josie, go ahead.
So I spent the whole time y'all were talking NBA, I was trying to find some news to really discuss during this segment. It hasn't been. I find when like there's a huge sporting event, there's not a lot of news in the wrestling world, and with the Super Bowl, we didn't have a whole lot going on. The one thing I noticed, Will, did you see Peacock did away with their free subscriber option today?
Yep,
I think who that's gonna hit the most is wrestling fans.
Hell yeah.
Because we're the ones who don't usually purchase Peacock.
We don't pay shit. And we don't pay shit neither.
That's interesting.
If we don't have
to,
we don't pay.
Yeah, in the WWE section, they had a lot of free shit. You didn't really need to pay unless you wanted to watch the premium live events.
Yep.
So other than that,
Peacock will also affect the NASCAR fans.
I got something.
Yes,
that too. I got something. Have you seen the pictures of Tyrus?
I saw the commercial.
Bruh.
I saw the commercial. I did like that the 10 pounds of gold got some Super Bowl spotlight, even though he should have been wearing the damn thing on the other arm because you could barely see it.
Thank you.
Could barely fucking see it.
Thank you.
I hate who he was promoting. Hate him. And then I mean that network that he's going to be on is basically a propaganda machine. So. And then he retained. This weekend. Damn it.
Yep. You could have got out from under that, but he retained. Tyrus is terrible.
Other than that, on the wrestling front, you got Elimination Chamber coming up this Saturday. Fortunately, my boy Sami Zayn is probably not going to win. I've heard a lot of rumors about how they're doing this. Cody actually came out and said he'd be okay with a triple threat match for Mania if it were to come down to that.
I did hear that.
Does blue mean that you're angry?
Blue means
or sorry, sad. Yeah.
Blue is
melancholy.
Yes, he's still sad about The Rock. He is still sad about The Rock.
No, I'm past that.
Josie's still sad.
Josie's still sad.
Josie's sad.
There you go.
Sad. Josie's sad about The Rock not being at Elimination Chamber Mania. Josie's sad.
Well, I have a question for you.
Josie's about to cry. Go on, cry, Josie. Go on, give a good cry. You know you want to.
Well,
it's okay.
I
do it.
I already did that today.
And for the saddest one of all.
So, Will, I do have a question for you. As
Eagles fans.
Oh, no. This is what I wanted to talk about, Will. This is what I wanted to talk about.
I've heard there was an Eagles fan.
There was an Eagles fan.
I'm never going to get a word out during my own goddamn segment.
We're sorry.
Nope. You just got a bunch.
No, this is what I want to talk about, Will.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the Guns winning the AEW tag titles this week? Because there's a lot of people pissed.
I'm pissed too. And you know what? I'm pissed. I don't get why though. Why make that decision? It's not like they needed them.
Oh, the argument could be made that they did need them. They've come a long way, and basically the same kind of story.
Were they gunning for it?
Ah.
Sorry.
Damn it!
Gotcha, motherfucker. You're welcome. The guns. They deserved it. Is what you're talking about.
Well, I honestly thought that Billy was going to turn, and the fact that they
You've been saying that for a minute.
Yeah, they swerved me there. I'll give them that. I've said a million times it's kind of hard to swerve me in wrestling, and they did swerve me with that.
That's my issue. I don't think they needed it. I'm just saying.
I don't know if they hold it for long, but honestly, who else in the tag division is going to take it off of them?
That's true.
The Bucks are with the trios titles right now, trying to build up the trios division.
Yep.
Doing a good job, honestly, even though Will doesn't like them. He can't.
Don't like them.
You can't say they're not doing a good job of
They
building
are
up
doing a
that
good
division.
job. I'll give them that.
So, and then for a company that was built around tag teams, right now they don't have a lot of really good prominent tag teams.
Nope.
The FTR is either taking a break or not coming back until their contracts are up in April. And so the Guns really are your only option. Now, the Acclaimed are super over.
That's what I like better.
But we've said this 1,000 times. You really want to talk about a team that doesn't need a title.
Yeah, that's the team that don't need.
They don't need a title.
Yeah.
They are over no matter what. They are
Facts.
the top baby faces, two of the top baby faces in the company right now. So
Facts. I
do have a question, Josie. Whenever
I just like it better than the Guns.
Well, let me just say
Dan.
this, and then Dan, I'll come to your question. So the other thing, did you see Tony's statement? He doesn't ever want to be a heel authority figure on TV. He says if it were to come to that and really like kind of play out that it needed it, he'd do it.
You know that's a shot at.
It's going to come to that.
That's a shot.
I don't know if it will.
Fired.
You think it was a shot
That's
at
a
Dixie?
shot fired at Vince. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a Dixie. I thought it was more a shot at Dixie.
more of a Dixie than Vince?
I do, because he brought up Dixie. He brought up all of them. He brought up Vince, Bischoff, Dixie. But I thought it was more a shot at Dixie.
I love Dixie too. I love Dixie.
Regardless, he knows what he's doing.
I love Dixie too much.
Well,
I love Dixie too much.
The thing is right now, AEW is seen as a babyface company in general. He only really comes on screen. He's only been on TV like 4 or 5 times, and 2 of those
I've never seen him.
Well, 2 of those times were when Brody died and when Jay died.
Mm-hmm.
Those are
the other
2 times.
Yep.
And then he came out one time in an MJF bit.
Okay.
To make a match.
Right.
One time.
But I just think it's more as a shot at Vince, because Vince made it. When you're on that WWE stage, it's more prominent than it is what Dixie did in Impact. And I love Dixie, by the way.
Well, and then the other thing I wanted to bring up before we get to Dan's question is AEW did this past year break $100 million, which
now how many people?
That's a big step.
How many people were saying they weren't going to do that?
I mean, they're in year 4, and like people still want. Well, you brought this up last week. The constant shit still constantly talked about AEW, and they're never going to make it. Tony this, Tony that. They can't build a storyline. And I think I've said it on this show. If I've not said it on this show, I've said it on Fight Night. It's different. People don't understand that Tony's really wanting to make you have to look at AEW almost. Yes, it's still scripted, it's still choreographed, but you really have to look at it more of like
real wrestling.
NBA, Major League Baseball. It's sports-based wrestling.
And
they don't tell a lot of outside stories. Most of the stories told in the ring.
And if you look at what they're doing, their matches are more entertaining right now, outside of maybe a serious bloodline match or something like that. But their matches in AEW have been a lot better than a product WWE has been pushing out. And I'm not a Ricky Starks fan, but even what he's doing in the ring has been more impressive
That gauntlet
than
match this week was
than
damn good.
what WWE has been doing lately. That bit we got on SmackDown with Natalya, Shayna, and Ronda, that was stupid as hell. She out there in a Miss Pac-Man hat is looking dumb as hell. That was stupid. We didn't
Seth
need
Rollins in his Yoshi boots today.
Come on, man. We don't need none of that. AEW is different. Like I said, I've been the big proponent and I've been saying it. WWE needs to take Raw back to 2 hours. 3 hours is too much because what they're doing, that's too much time. You give them too much time to mess up. So it needs to go back to 2 hours.
Someone has clocked it. I think it's in a 3 hour Raw. I think you get 45 minutes of actual wrestling.
Yeah.
2 hour Dynamite, you're getting about an hour and 20 minutes of actual wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's counting the entire 2 hours. So that's another 20 to 30 minutes of commercial times.
Yep.
So that means there's only like 10 minutes of an AEW Dynamite show that wrestling's not going on in the ring.
Right.
That's what wrestling shows are supposed to be.
Yep.
The other thing I wanted to bring up before we get to Dan's question is, do you think D-Bride beats MJF in 2 weeks or 3
Hell
weeks?
yeah. I want him to. Because when you look at it right now, MJF's title reign has been as quiet as a pin drop.
Honestly, you could say Hangman's was better, which people would say.
You can make an argument for Hangman. Mm-hmm.
Which people would say out of a very young company that's only had 5 champions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would say Hangman's is the worst. Right now, MJF's has just not been good.
Nope.
And don't get me wrong, this is the one thing I did want to say. One thing that AEW really is lacking right now is a top babyface.
Oh hell yeah, it's all
they
heels.
Are real, yeah, they're all heel. Even D-Bry is an anti. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
And so, I read Punk will be healed and ready to go in about 2 months.
That'd be interesting.
I think he comes back. I really think he's coming back because Tony's not going to let him out of his contract. I think at this point, a lot of the heat of all that has started to die down.
Mm-hmm.
The stories you could put together between him and the Elite would be absolute fire.
Hell yeah, I agree.
So, I'm anxious to see what the landscape is after Revolution, which is in March. I think it's March 4th.
So about a month or so?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So
from just listening to you guys talk, it seems like there's a fundamental split between two sides of the wrestling fandom / management that it's either real wrestling or we go complete entertainment. Either we're trying to pick a side here. So are we going to do an actual where a lot of it is done on the mat, or are we going to do like a thing where small segments are done on a mat and we just try to make it like a show
and
not a sport?
Brian Danielson said on a podcast this week that before he left WWE, Vince came to him and said, what do you think is the major difference between us and AEW? And he said, we are a wrestling show with not a lot of wrestling. And that's basically what it is. They're a wrestling show with very little wrestling.
Yes. So take more fans, right? And do the wrestling thing. Because I think that's what, from what I understand, that's what most actual fans of wrestling would want to happen. And you're going to take less fans, right? Or spread it out over a large area and have less committed fans and do an entertainment show. That's where they're getting there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dan.
My question was, you guys talking about tag teams earlier. Do you think that the tag teams in professional wrestling as a whole are downgraded a little bit because people think of wrestling mostly as a one-on-one Olympics, think of Olympic style. You know what I'm saying? Like when they think of wrestling as a sport, a lot of people who don't know professional wrestling think of it as a one-on-one thing exclusively almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So anything outside of that would hinder a tag or a Royal Rumble, stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yes. And that's one of the things that AEW really in the beginning was trying to highlight was what tag team wrestling could be. And I will say they do need to get back to that. They need to pump up their tag division again with some more. You don't get me wrong. Acclaimed is probably one of the best tag teams in pro wrestling right now. And I'd put them up against just about any other tag team there is. And that's including FTR. I love tag team wrestling. I grew up watching the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys and Edge and Christian, and I wish it could get back to that kind of prominence. Will we ever? Doubtful.
We have really gone through a downturn in tag team wrestling. Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, those great teams that Josie mentioned earlier. We don't have those type of teams today. Yeah, we got some knockoffs, but we don't have teams like that of today. Going back to tag team wrestling in my time, Road Warriors, Harlem Heat, Powers of Pain. We don't have teams like that anymore. And it's really a damn shame because tag team wrestling has taken such a downfall.
Well,
and AEW was the only company that was trying to address that. Two things Vince don't care about. He don't care about women's wrestling, and he don't give a damn about tag team wrestling. And it's a shame because tag team wrestling, when it was at its apex, was great. That's how Harlem Heat got over. Because when Harlem Heat came into the fray and started making a name for themselves, they were trying to bring tag teams back to knock them off, and they couldn't do it. Harlem Heat was still knocking them off. So
who was Booker T's partner?
Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray, his brother. So
okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So we don't have those great tag teams anymore, and it's really a damn shame.
And you think about even in the Attitude Era, some of the I think that was an amazing era for tag teams because
New Age Outlaws,
like you talked about, New Age Outlaws, the Dudley Brothers, the Hardy Boys.
Yep.
The tag team match that the Rock and Mick Foley did.
Rock and Sock
Connection.
That was such a great storyline, but the WWE just doesn't write it like that anymore. Are there too many wrestlers that just want to be solo, or are they just not wanting to write tag team content anymore?
It might be a combination of both.
It may be a combination of both, but in the WWE, it really does come down to, and I think Triple H is trying. He's trying to build back up their tag team division. But it did come down to the last 10 years. There's two things that Vince hates, and that's women's wrestling and tag team.
Josie, bottom line, though, we've talked about this. It's hard for wrestling to get new fans. That's so they have all of the old fans, right? Or they lost a lot of the old fans. They're like China. They don't have new children. They just have like the older children that become it's just like some of them drop off. And it's like they just don't have any new fans because it's hard to get new fans because they have to
pull in that casual fan. Yes.
And get the storyline, right? Because you were like, you got to go watch like every time before this. And I was like, it seems like, you got to be committed to like learning about it.
And if you look at it, you brought up a good point. You have to commit. And Joe, I'm quite sure you agree with me. Whatever company you follow, or if you follow pro wrestling as a whole, that's a lot of time out of your life to follow. That's a whole lot.
Exactly my point, Will. Yep.
Even if you just watch AEW, that's some hours out of the week.
Well, I was really going to say, nobody got time for that.
If you want to watch all of AEW's product, everything, and I don't even watch all their product. I don't watch Dark. I don't watch Elevation. I usually watch Rampage, but now more than not, it's I watch it the next day. That's almost 10 hours.
And if you go to WWE and watch everything that they do,
no one watches all of it. WWE's product. They've got both their flagship shows, NXT, Main Event, and then you get into the other things like NWA, MLW. And I did want to bring this up before we move on, Will. Did you see what happened to New Japan this weekend?
I heard something about that, but I don't know the whole story.
So Hikuleo and Jay White had a loser leaves Japan match, and Jay White lost.
Wow.
He is done with New Japan.
Wow.
And this is my question for you, Will. Where's he going?
If he's smart, because I don't think WWE can write for him.
I don't think
smart, you go to AEW if you're smart.
And I don't think it's just that. I think you got to think of Omega's there, the Bucks are there, shit, Adam Cole, baby,
and I think Impact isn't big enough.
Impact, and he's been on Impact. He's been on Impact multiple times with his New Japan thing. So I don't see that happening.
Nope.
I don't think Impact can afford to offer him the contract he's going to want.
And like I said, I just don't think WWE can write for him. And if you did bring him in, creative wouldn't do him justice.
I would love to see Switchblade versus Omega. Love to see that. I'd love to see Switchblade versus Adam Cole.
That's nice.
And then you get into the more lesser known talent. Man, could you imagine Jay White versus Mox?
Ooh.
Or Jay White versus Claudio.
That'd be cool.
Like
too.
there's so, and then the younger talent he could work with. I'd love to see him versus Sammy.
That'd be cool.
I'd love to see him versus Garcia.
Yeah.
Him and Jericho having another match here in the States would be amazing.
My boy Jungle Boy.
Yeah, Jay White versus Jungle Boy would be great. I love me the Switchblade. He's been absolutely amazing, and I get it. I get that Okada will always be. He will be the John Cena of New Japan until he is no longer.
That's the face.
Wrestling.
That's the face.
He will be there. But I think New Japan missed something with Jay White more than with Omega and with AJ. Like, he was so more over than any Gaijin's ever been.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever been.
That's true.
I would have loved to see him be the actual face of the company, but it was never going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and guys, that's just a taste of what we talk about on Tuesdays. That's just a taste.
We're going to be getting
Tuesdays, 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
We'll be getting I want to get Kill and Stack's opinion on the Jay White stuff tomorrow. We're also going to be breaking down No Way Out 01 tomorrow night. So make sure you tune in for that, as well as any news that happens to come out. I'm going to start ending every segment as Fight Night with this. Take the title off of Jade Cargill, goddammit.
I agree.
I'm so tired of it.
I second that motion. I second that motion. It's time. It's time.
What's that face for, Dan?
Because I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
So Jade Cargill holds the TBS championship, which is the mid-card championship for the women's division in AEW. She has literally been around almost an entire year, and she's been the only person to hold it. She now has a record of 51-0, Will, because she actually had a dark match this week, so she's now 51-0. And it's just gotten boring. It's old. It's old. It's stale. It's time for her. She's been.
They don't realize. I think they don't realize that if you drop that title off of her, that opens so much more for her storyline wise. There's so much more that she can do if they took that title off of her. I mean, if you take that title off of her, then you put her fair game for the main women's division for the world title.
That Goldberg crown is hard to wear.
Well, and the thing about the Goldberg crown is he went from I think they've said actually like 30 wins.
He went from 30 wins
to 100,
like 60
to like 100, like
60 to 90 to 100. Yeah. Like they jumped him real quick,
really quick.
That's something that AEW is the first company to ever do, to actually track wins and losses in wrestling.
But you know what?
It's never been heard of before.
You know what, though, Josie? I think they're trying to prove a point. But to me, that point's proven.
I agree.
That a black woman can be successful. But that point's been well proven already.
That's interesting.
And I don't even know if it's just solely that, Will. I think it's also that she was not a wrestler. She was a basketball player in college.
Yes.
But they have proven that they could take her and develop her into a great talent. Don't get me wrong. I think Jade is super talented. She's still not great on the mic, but in the ring, she can fucking go.
And we saw her grow up because we watched her first match together.
Yeah.
And it's like,
from my experience, black women who play basketball are yes, they're great wrestlers. They can wrestle very well.
I mean, you take. I mean,
Oh God,
you take the athleticism out of it, and it transitions well. But my thing is, it's over. It's time. It's time. Take that
There's
off of her.
so many women because where their tag team division is lacking right now. We said for almost 2 years, Will, that their women's division was struggling.
Yep.
Right now, their women's division is like one of their hottest divisions.
It's
They've
shining.
got so
It's
many
shining.
talented women. I'm loving, even though Saraya she's driving me crazy. Her promos with calling everybody baby girl. Baby girl. I want to smack her.
Hey, baby girl.
Listen.
Can we talk about the baby girl?
Listen, damn it. Willow Nightingale, damn it. I'm loving Willow Nightingale.
That's you reminded me of some news. It looks like the ROH show is going to be they're going to be taping the first few episodes at the Universal property at the end of this month because Willow, 2 old ROH girls, I can't remember the name, and Wheeler were all pulled off of a show they were supposed to be on at the end of this month.
Willow
looks like
fucking Nightingale. Remember
Willow
that name.
Is going to be a high girl in the ROH women's division. So.
Oh yeah. She's gonna be a threat. She's gonna be a threat for my girl. She's gonna be a threat.
Back to Jade, I just think there's a bunch of women that could benefit from that title, and she's not benefiting from it anymore.
Can somebody please, and I'll say it and I'll end it. Can somebody please help Ruby Riott?
Hey, I think she's getting better. I'm liking her in between. And honestly, I think Britt is about to make a full-on face turn. I think Britt and Jamie are about to make. Which shout out to Jamie Hayter. She is doing the damn thing.
Yes, she is. Shout out to Jamie Hayter.
I think Britt and Jamie are about to make a face turn, and I think Ruby is going to be, because I am liking this storyline that they're doing with the AEW original women versus the outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I have a question.
I just think it's time. It's time for Ruby to get a title, and I think this is it. I mean, she lost to Jade last year or years ago, but I think you can reinvent her and still make her to be a champion, a really good champion.
Now that she's healthy.
Yep.
Stay healthy, Ruby.
Stay healthy, Ruby. Go ahead, Dan.
You guys, Florence Nightingale, got it.
Willow
you guys,
Nightingale, damn it. Willow.
I know.
Willow Nightingale, damn it. Not Florence.
Willow. As wrestling fans, you guys, do you want wrestling to be considered a he's doing all the way around the head. You want wrestling to be considered a he's gonna go all the way around the head with it.
Yeah.
Are you bored there, Seven?
More of a sport?
No.
Or
no.
You want it to be entertaining?
Keep it where it is. Because I think my issue is if wrestling goes mainstream, you get unseen forces that you don't want to be.
Yeah,
involved.
you get there. It already bugs me on how much Warner Brothers Discovery has say in AEW product. Sometimes the fact that they kept the Briscoes off TV for so long, the fact that Jay Briscoe never was able to be on TV before he died.
Yep.
My question is how big of a difference do you want it to be? Like, do you want it to be mostly sport and then some entertainment? Because that's what most sports that the top 3 of America.
Can we get a healthy dose of both or down?
I honestly would say where AEW is with it right now is about the perfect. It's about the perfect.
I was gonna say, you guys are asking a lot though for balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they have to draw the fan with the entertainment, but they also have to do the wrestling for like the purists. And it's like do they need to just pick sides and stop trying to fucking, pussyfoot around? Is that electrical tape? Because that could actually
hurt you.
It sounded like Velcro
on camera. No, he's fine. Trust me, I've seen him do stupider things. Seen him do much stupider than this. You look like a mummy that was born in Missouri.
No, honestly, I think about the level you're getting with AEW is about as true sport as you can get. I do like. It took me a while to get behind the win and loss record, but I am getting more behind it. There are sometimes I wish AEW would push a little bit more of a storyline on some of their, like a straight up storyline on some of their things, but I don't want them to get to the point where WWE is, where it's 95% joke,
Right.
5% wrestling.
Seven looks like the main character
guys.
in an ESPN 30 for 30 about a blind wrestler. There you go.
Guys.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I've got to be up super early. I've got going to my kids' Valentine's Day party tomorrow. And
Cool. We're about to end things. We're about to end things anyway. So we'll see you later, Jose.
Hey, we gotta talk baseball real quick.
Yes.
He got a couple of things I know to talk in baseball.
Yeah, he wants to talk some baseball. All
Fuck
right,
Alex Cora. There's my baseball note.
Oh damn. All right, you
Y'all
guys.
good night,
We're gonna
boys.
finish. Yeah, have a good one,
Anyway.
Jose. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and finish up the show talking some baseball news with him being all tied up in electrical tape and can't
It's
see the
Velcro.
screen. But
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money. I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name.
all right.
Sorry, got lost in the moment. Okay.
You good?
I was gonna loop it for you. Just fucking-
So to start everything off here, we do have an announcement to make. Starting with this baseball season, the baseball podcast will no longer be called the Winter Meetings. We will be rebranding to the Diamond Report.
There you go.
We have more stuff coming on that soon, including
I like that.
logos
I
and
like
stuff like that. I think it's nothing to disrespect my original idea on the name, but the truth of the matter is that we run during the season, not out of season. So the name doesn't
Right.
really fit with what we do.
I have a 14 karat. It's a beautiful cut. Okay. I want to
Okay.
get it appraised. I was wondering if I can do it on your show.
that.
It's the gotcha. Okay. So the diamond is the baseball. It's a baseball diamond. Gotcha. Sorry.
Hey,
you know
go
what?
fuck
I got
yourself,
a lot
sir.
of stones
Um,
here that I don't know what to do with. Okay.
yeah, they're crack rocks.
Hey, they're called fugazis.
Fugazi.
Fugazi.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh my god.
so that more information will be coming about that soon. A couple of things that were announced by Major League Baseball today. The Ghost Runner in extra innings will be a permanent rule change
Wow.
during the regular season moving forward.
Only regular season.
Regular season moving forward.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
that's what I
fine with that. I'm
Yeah.
leave it.
Good.
That's I'm good with that.
I like it. like
There are now also rules in place for when teams can use position players to pitch. MLB announced today that now, in order for position players to be able to pitch, the situations are if the game is in extra innings, if it is the ninth inning and their team is trailing by 8 or more runs, or if it is the ninth inning and their team is leading by 10 or more runs.
They added a 10-run rule, a mercy rule. They added a mercy rule.
They add, yeah,
Basically.
I think that's about as close as you're gonna
Mercy.
get. But
Mercy.
also it prevents teams from pitching with the position players earlier in the game than the ninth.
Right. Right.
That's beautiful. Good
I
job,
like that.
MLB. They're
I
doing
like that.
2 for 2.
It's perfectly reasonable to go in that direction. Also,
7. Also, no, people aren't going to a fucking Angels game to watch Jared Walsh pitch 3 innings. At the end of the
Damn
game.
right.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm right.
And also, it was announced during the Super Bowl yesterday that Derek Jeter will be joining Fox's MLB team, reuniting with A-Rod for Fox's baseball coverage. So
There you go.
Fox
There you
loses Joe Buck, adds Tom Brady and A-Rod.
But that's a
Or,
win-win.
I'm sorry, and Tom Brady and Derek Jeter.
That's a win-win.
But I am going to say also, I'm with you. I think it is bullshit that Greg Olson takes a pay cut when Tom Brady shows up at Fox Sports.
That's bullshit. I'm out the door. I'm out the
Hey,
door. I'm
my
out
main
the
thing with
door.
that was like, okay, so yes, he shouldn't have to get downgraded in pay. Also, if you're Greg Olson, you're taking that. He signed on for that too. It's not like he didn't.
I mean,
it's not
yeah,
like
it's-
he could have quit, right? But like at the same time, like he's kind of one of those guys who I just go meh. Like I just think
as soon as his contract is up, he's out the door.
I think so too. Yeah, like probably what it is. Like just squeeze the last little bit you can out of it, I guess. Yeah, and do minimal work, Greg Olsen. Like do minimal work. Like what you have to show up somewhere, show up there, and do your job. But fuck that outside of it. Just do whatever the fuck you want outside of it. Get paid $3 million a year and fucking tell them to go fuck themselves. Be like, yeah, I'm good. I'll fucking just show up.
Greg Olsen did an amazing objective job in the Super Bowl.
He did
yesterday, and Kevin Burkhardt was great, of course, but Greg Olsen. I mean, what's the critique with Buck and Aikman always been? The announcing is always one-sided. Okay, Burkhardt and Greg Olsen called that game down the fucking line yesterday.
Like you should.
Down the fucking line, like you should.
Yep.
But
I get why Tom Brady's going to be on the lead broadcast for Fox, and that's why Greg Olsen's taking the pay cut, because he's not going to be the number one analyst anymore. It's going to be fucking Tom Brady.
Well, in eccentricity and like interest takes value there too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
right, like, right. And it's so I get it, but at the same time, I 100% support him. If another network is going to give him a better slot and more money, get the fuck out of there, bro.
Yeah, get the hell out
for sure.
You got to put up
because you have the talent. But okay, back on to baseball.
Journalism is dead, Seven. Journalism is dead in this country.
It is
actual journalism. So good.
And that's sad.
But so small decent moves by MLB baseball as far as the rules are concerned. I think that both of those are pretty reasonable. I get wanting to speed up games during the regular season. I think a more reasonable choice would be to cut the season to 140 games. I think you would be fucking fine cutting the season to 140 games.
63 stands forever then. So does 73.
It would, and I think they're going to try. And now you're going to see. I think one of the big shifts that you're going to see this year is I think it may take a little time before we see another 100+ win team again, because now every season every team plays each other for at least one series.
Yep,
it's not like it used to be, and what took a hit was the amount of division series that you play. And so what that means is it's going to be a lot harder for, somebody like we'll say the Yankees to get 100 wins, because they've got 25 games against the Orioles that they're probably going to win 20 of. Now they've got 16 games against the Orioles. They've got 16 against Boston, whatever the actual numbers are, but there was a sharp drop in all of those games. And so you don't have as much experience with these other teams because you're only going to see them once a year. Most of these other teams, especially the teams that are not in your, same division or league, because like the American League teams, like you always, like you always played American League teams all played each other at least once, and National League teams all played each other at least once, and then there was some interleague play. Now there's a lot more interleague play, and so I think that that's going to have an impact, and we're going to see the top winner of the year 90 to 95 wins.
Yeah, and the schedule has just become an interleague schedule. It's just an interleague schedule now. Like it's just all like basically every other league does, right? I mean, they all play everybody. Like they don't discriminate on which conference or that you're in. But also I noticed you were low key trying to talk shit right there. Don't think I didn't notice that about the Yankees. I saw what you did. I saw what you did, bro. I fucking see that shit.
I was actually more talking shit on the Orioles than on the Yankees.
Also, winged teams, like you said at the beginning there, there are a lot of winged teams. There's the Angels have wings. The Orioles are winged. The Blue Jays have wings. There's several. The Rays, you could say, have wings.
Where's that?
But they're more fins
for his fucking
more fins in their wings. I was totally on your. I was on board when you started with wing teams. I was like, yes, somebody else wants to talk winged teams, not winning teams.
Oh my goodness, Seven. Anything else you want to go over before we get out of here for the night? We're going on 2 hours, fellas.
Fuck. couple of things really quick. First of all, fuck Robert Manfred.
Yes.
I feel like I haven't said that in a while, and so I just need to get that out there.
They made a couple of good rule changes, but they had a little bit of a hole to dig themselves out of.
Fuck you, Rob. Fuck you.
They're still in that hole.
It's really like he just moved out of the way of somebody pissing in the hole for a change.
They're like Batman in Dark Knight Rises. He just gets halfway up. That's what the MLB is going to do.
Yeah. But we will see bigger bases this year in baseball, which I think was a dumb fucking idea, but whatever. Pitch clock, the bases, first, second, and third are bigger now.
Oh, the big bases, yeah.
Yeah, bigger bags.
Stolen
pitch
bases
clock,
are go up.
20 seconds with a runner on base, 15 seconds with it off. But batters, here's the thing that's important about the pitch clock. Batters can catch a violation too. And if they do, it is a strike.
Yeah.
So it is not just the pitchers that are limited, which I support. If you're going to put a pitch clock on, make sure batters know that they have a limitation on time as well.
Damn.
Because how many of these batters go through all 47 steps of their fucking routine after each pitch?
True.
You got to
say who's going to struggle with that? Seven, like Nomar would have.
Nomar would have, yeah.
Nomar would have, and fucking Jose Bautista used to literally walk like 10 steps away from the plate and then come back up and do the in the face thing. He would like stand there like straight up, like he would be open face to the pitcher and then do the thing in. And it's like it just took forever. Every single pitch was like he'd walk all the way out, all the way back. Bryce Harper does that kind of shit. Bryce Harper like goes back and like plays with the dirt and shit, and Matt Carpenter plays with the dirt, and like they're gonna have to stop doing that shit. You gotta like step in.
Oh yeah.
You've got to shorten your routine now because that pitcher's not gonna fuck around. They're not gonna wait on you. They're just gonna throw the goddamn ball.
Yep.
Because
Little league style, bro. You just one leg out, do your thing, and then just get right back in. That's what you got to do. Like
you got to be ready.
Be ready. And good. The limitation on time. I understand they're trying to keep pitchers going. Pitchers want to keep going. They want to be able to take as much advantage of that warm time that their arm is going to have as they possibly fucking can. But it's a lot harder when umps are giving batters 30 seconds of time after every pitch so that they can go through a 97-step fucking routine. Right. I'm sorry, but this is not all on pitchers on the added time that we've seen since the 80s. The batters have fucking added a lot too, and the umps have let them do it. So
I see what you're saying. You can't put it on the pitchers and then just let the batters do whatever the fuck they want because they'll just extend at bats. Yeah. Yeah. And dude, wouldn't that fuck you up though? For like, were you a guy who took a fucking long time in between pitches? Because I need to see him like now. You know what I'm saying? Like I was terrible, but I'm wanting to see those things. Like I'm not gonna walk away and be like, oh, let's just go do this again, like readjust and everything. Like fuck that. I gotta like stay in there. Like I'm not trying to like walk away from the fucking plate and shit.
If I didn't swing, I didn't even like step 1 foot out of the box and like check to see if I needed to adjust anything. But even if I swang, I 1 foot out, I literally real quick checked my gloves, make sure they were tight, picked it back up, one practice swing, I was ready to go. He's got a lot of swing. Got a lot of swing in him.
That's swing in him.
I'm a contact hitter.
It's a Midwest swing.
I mean, I was just trying to get doubles.
If you ain't got that swing.
Yep. I know what he's talking about. That swing, baby.
But
me and Will got that swing.
I have got some confirmation. I am going to be going to some spring training games this year down here in Arizona. I'm actually going to be buying some tickets this week. I'm looking at a couple of Cubs Reds games. Go over and try and catch because I want to see Ian Happ in person. Talented guy, great attitude. I want to see if I can get his autograph. And Dan knows I don't normally search for autographs. I want Ian Happ's autograph. But I want to go hopefully catch Marcus Stroman pitching because I really like him. I think he's got a great attitude. Cubs have a good team. I
was doing that for my boy. I was doing that for my boy 7. Yes, sir.
Titties. Sorry. A tribute to you, Colin Cowherd.
In the middle of your analysis.
Titties. She got you too good.
Somebody has to snap him back into it. And throws water on his face.
And but I'm gonna try and catch a few
titties
spring training games and
she got some,
try to see if I can maybe
She got some nice ass legs. Damn.
Look at those legs.
Jason
Just going
Taylor
up
is going to
and
beat the
making an
shit
ass
out of us.
himself.
Jason Taylor's going to beat the shit out of us, dude. You know how many people have been talking about his sister forever?
Yep.
His younger sister?
Yep.
That motherfucker got big like that so he could beat the shit out of guys like us. I'm scared now. He's going to find me. If Jason Taylor found me, I'd ask for his autograph. I'd be like, "Hello, sir. After you beat me up, do you want to sign this? Will you sign my scrapes and bruises?
Sign my bruise on my forehead.
Sign my cut that you put over my left eye."
But I think we're going to see I think we're going to see much better results on the early part of the season this year because players are going to get a full spring training.
Yes.
We're also going to have a lot of guys ready to go because of the Road Baseball Classic. I am going to try and see if I can get to a couple of those games.
You know who's just going to be fucking raking to start the season, Tony? Aaron Judge.
Raking. You know who's going to be a Boston Red Sox player by the 50th game of the year? Fernando Tatis.
Oh my god, dude! Your pipe dreams are hilarious. I love you.
They've got 3-star shortstops in San Diego right now. Tatis is getting traded when they can. I guarantee it. Tatis will get traded, and it's going to be Boston that gets him.
It will happen.
I mean, and the Padres have to start Zwan Song Kim. Zwan Song Kim is what I like to call him.
Damn, One Tongue Kim.
Because he's the last Zwan Song. It's actually a Pa Song, which would be funny song.
Up to bat. I
believe it's Japanese for funny song.
Up to bat. One Song Kim.
Yeah, you're welcome for that one.
Up to bat. One Song Kim.
Han Song,
but
Kim Kardashian.
It's going to be a good baseball season. I think that the Red Sox are going to produce more than people think they will.
Yes.
But a lot of it's going to come down to how we perform at second and short. And what we get out of Trevor Story when he gets back. If we can keep Chris Sale healthy, oh my God.
Fourth in the East, bro. Fourth in the East, bro.
If Chris Sale stays healthy,
that is what you guys are going for.
If Chris Sale stays healthy and we get we get average to above average production in our infield, that's a wild card team.
That's a third.
That's my standard this year.
Which is wild cards.
Wild card
in the EL East. In the AL East, it is.
Yeah,
it's a wild card spot.
You're second or third in the AL East, you're probably in a wild card slot. That's what I want.
You ain't getting over two.
I'm not being unrealistic to think that we're going to beat Toronto for the division, but fuck you. It's not going to be the Yankees.
Rodon's just going to fucking slay this year. He's just going to be slaying.
New York slaying. The best first baseman in the history of Major League Baseball.
Oh my God. He's so good defensively. They gave him the Gold Glove last year. Did you know that? That's how good he is defensively. Vlad Guerrero Jr. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Best first baseman. I don't know that he's even the best first baseman.
Fucking Zion Williamson of fucking the Blue Jays.
All right, guys. If Seven doesn't have
Zion never got hurt.
That's it.
If Seven doesn't have anything else, we appreciate you for the 7th inning stretch, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Anybody got anything else they want to get out there before we roll out?
I actually have a really important announcement, Will. I'll be starting a new show here on the Sports Report Network. It's called Ecstasy and Madness. We're going to talk conspiracies, ecstasy, and madness. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're not really. I made it up. We're not starting a show.
That's
what after dark. Yeah.
He said after dark. Oh,
I eat an eighth of mushrooms at the start of After Dark on Thursdays, 10/9 Central. And by the time that it's over, we start a show that I like to call Ecstasy and Madness, which is about conspiracies, ecstasy, and madness. And it'll just be me pretty much slobbering into a microphone on camera, but should be entertaining.
You can check that show out on Apple iTunes,
Spotify,
Google Play.
Watch next week after Dark when I burn the house down around me. I light a fire in a back room. Is it here yet? We don't know.
Oh my God.
You'll figure it out.
All right. If there's nothing else, guys, I want to say thank you for everybody hanging with us. If you stayed for the whole show, you guys are true champions of this program, and we do appreciate you. So thank you very much. Don't forget, follow us on all social media. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on YouTube. Definitely check us out every Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be right here, same time, same place. for myself, Josie, Seven, and Dan.
Will got that swang.
You have your social media post up at 7 Pods a lot. You can follow Seven at 7 Pods a lot on Twitter. You can follow me at Gauntlet Geek 1 on Twitter. I don't think Dan has a Twitter.
I spell it Chiefs with an EI.
That's
not a tag.
That's not.
I don't think that's a handle. Is that a handle? Is that what the kids call it? It's not a handle.
That's not a handle. No.
We haven't gotten Twitter in Nebraska yet.
I'm done. I'm fucking done.
I still watch DVDs, dude. I still watch DVDs. Somebody told me about this. This shit's all fucking on your computer and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Put a disc in this thing.
He didn't put a Blu-ray yet.
I got 5 discs loaded up.
You just go hit this thing.
Ecstasy and Madness.
Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, sitting